This is WOWT 6 News, live at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mallory Maddox.
And I'm Joe Chiodo. Happening locally live at 5 tonight. Much of the area under a tornado watch. This is southwest of Omaha.
Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Michael Point. He is tracking the storms.
And the tornado watch right now in effect does not include the Omaha metro area, but areas to our south and west. You can see in the pink shade that goes until 9 o'clock this evening. It's been a very active afternoon right now in that region. If you do have plans to take you out here in Omaha, you're good for the next several hours, but it's not good the farther off to the west and south you go. Showers and thunderstorms have been firing. You can see over toward the Fullerton area, down towards Central City, to St. Paul, lifting to the north and northeast at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. But all eyes right now focused down to the south there. Over in Adams County, we've had reports here of the tornado on the ground that did do damage. We've got houses that are destroyed in just to the west right now of the Hastings area. Another spot not too far away, down around the Superior area under a tornado warning at this time too. Numerous reports of tornadoes as well as hail, large hail I should say, some very gusty winds and some heavy downpours are all moving through that vicinity, and there's more on the way. So we've expanded back out here right across the Kansas border, a line of showers and thunderstorms all tracking to the north and east with this frontal system heading in our direction. So again, if you're wondering what time here in the Omaha metro area, 9, 10 o'clock this evening, best possibility of seeing some showers and storms approach. But right now, all eyes are focused not far away from the Hastings area and to the south. We're going to do some more tracking on these showers and storms coming up in just a few more minutes. Joe, Mallory.
Thank you, Michael. We are tracking local breaking news tonight. Dramatic new developments in a story that we have been following very closely.
A man charged with attempted murder for attacking his wife is on the loose tonight. This after he escapes from the hospital. David McKee had been at CHI Creighton since Sunday. He was recovering from stab wounds after a domestic dispute.
Police say he broke into a home, got into a dispute with his wife, and attempted to kill her. WOWT 6 News reporter Erin Murray is at the house tracking these developments, and she continues our coverage live.
That's right, Joe, Mallory. A metro-wide search for David McKee today because he has warrants out for him for attempted murder, burglary, and domestic violence, as you mentioned, all from one incident happening here at this Council Bluffs home on Sunday, where police said he did break. They say he broke into a window and tried to attack two women here, one of them his wife. Now, during that, his wife stabbed him with a knife. That is why he was taken to Creighton because of his injuries. He had to be taken to a trauma center, leaving the Council Bluffs area and going into Nebraska. Now, today we got notice from the hospital that he walked out of the doors at 2:55. Immediately, the Council Bluffs police reacted. Take a look at some of our video we got here earlier when they had a sergeant posted out front. They also have other police kind of circling the area, just keeping a high watch on this home as they search for him. Now, the big question that a lot of people are asking is, how could he just walk out of the door? Why wasn't there any security? Well, Council Bluffs police did speak with me, and they kind of explained the situation. When he got taken to the trauma center and got out of Iowa here and taken in Nebraska, they couldn't arrest him because it was out of their jurisdiction. Now, what they did is they got those arrest warrants signed on Monday, and they notified the security there at the hospital. And the plan was that once he was well enough, the security would then notify police in the area and then have those warrants served to him. But again, like I said, he left the hospital today at 2:55. Take another look at his picture here. Here's what police tell me. He was wearing khaki shorts and a t-shirt. And he does have a cut on a neck with stitches. Anyone that sees him is asked to call police. He is considered dangerous. Reporting here live in Council Bluffs, Erin Murray, WOWT 6 News.
Erin, thank you. We'll continue tracking that tonight and have more in our next newscast. Well, happening locally live at 5 as well, a little extra excitement for the end of the semester at UNO. A student sits behind bars tonight after an incident inside the library.
This is Leo Lavigan. He is 21 years old, facing some serious charges, including attempted felony assault and carrying a concealed weapon.
WOWT 6 News reporter Brandon Scott is on this story and even talked to a student who helped disarm the suspect. Brandon continues our coverage live.
Joe and Mallory, a very dangerous afternoon, or morning rather, here at the UNO library after a student armed with 3 knives threatened to slash other students' throats. Take a look at this exclusive cell phone video obtained by WOWT 6 News. You can see the chaos, you can see a knife on the ground, and the suspect surrounded. Another witness took this photo after 3 men took down the suspect and knocked a knife out of his hand. Today I spoke with one of those men, Brandon Valley, the man in the middle of that photo. He's a student here at UNO and ironically also an active duty soldier who saw a threat and took action.
As soon as he pulled the knife out, I grabbed his wrist and twisted him and put him down on the couch.
How dangerous could this have been today?
It could have went many different ways. If someone else would have talked to that kid and he pulled the knife on them, who knows what would have happened.
And that suspect was taken away by Omaha police again. His name, Leo Lebogan. He's 20 years old, and witnesses say that he was talking loudly on his cell phone inside the library and got upset when he was asked to go outside. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll hear more from the student that helped subdue the suspect, a student that here on this campus tonight is being called a hero. Reporting live with photographer MH Danker, Brandon Scott, WOWT 6 News.
And in more news now, we are tracking new details, this from the courts.
An accused serial killer is in court once again today. Dr. Anthony Garcia's attorneys argued more pretrial motions. Over the past 3 days, they have been pushing to have Garcia face 2 different murder trials. You'll recall Garcia is charged with first-degree murder for the 2008 killings of Thomas Hunter and Shirley Sherman, as well as the 2013 killings of Creighton doctor Roger Brumback, as well as his wife Mary. That happened in their West Omaha home.
Today, the judge heard all the arguments and took the question under advisement. Now, there has been no ruling yet.
Now, a look at some of the top headlines, reasons to watch the NBC Nightly News.
Coming up tonight, Deflategate is back in the news. The NFL report is out. It doesn't paint the Patriots or Tom Brady in a good light. We will get Bob Costas' take on that. Also, we'll tell you why French officials think the co-pilot of that doomed German Wings plane may have tried to crash another plane before it. And the NYPD officer who was attacked by an axe-wielding terrorist is speaking out tonight. We'll have his story when we see you a bit later on.
Well, today marks a very significant moment for the city of Omaha. 40 years since that devastating tornado in 1975 rolled through. We want you to meet a meteorologist right now who is actually working that day at the National Weather Service office when it hit.
One of those days that you never forget.
Those who lived through it will always remember where they were on May 6th in 1975. That's when a massive tornado blew through the heart of Omaha.
The tornado was coming up 72nd Street, the main drag of Omaha.
George Matrella was tracking the storm for the National Weather Service in Valley. He first saw problems developing southwest of Omaha.
And I didn't like what I saw.
Suddenly, he noticed it.
And there it was a hook.
George knew a massive tornado was heading toward Omaha. He was tracking the storm on modified, antiquated radar equipment.
It was taken out of a Navy PBY from World War II.
That was the equipment available at the time. The National Weather Service office was abuzz with activity.
It was like a war room in there.
Workers did the best they could, limited by technology of the time. Warnings were sent out by teletype machine. Douglas County REACT spotters talked via CB radio, and George says warnings were brief and limited.
So we just had a quickie tornado warning where it says a tornado warning is now in effect in the Omaha Council Bluffs area. Details will follow.
It wasn't very fast compared to today when we can send out a warning instantaneously. It gets uplinked to satellite, gets downlinked by the media, and it goes on air right away.
Amazingly, only 3 people were killed in this devastating tornado that hit Omaha in 1975. It could have been a lot worse. Schools just let out, and up to 30,000 people were in the path of this tornado.
The people of Omaha really responded to the warnings.
After the tornado hit, George recalls the destruction left behind.
You're just mesmerized, you're just shocked.
And a little disbelief.
To be up close and see it right there in real time, just wow, could that have happened here?
And a lot of things have changed in the 40 years, not the least of which technology and meteorologists now help us keep the weather forecast safe for your family and your property. We're going to look at some more changes that the National Weather Service has made here coming up over the next day or so. Back to you.
Well, thank you, Mike. And depending on the weather today, we may be hearing from Mike a lot sooner than that.
Very likely. But we do right now want to bring in Brian Mastery with a short preview of that 30-minute special coming up tonight at 6:30.
Mallory, Joe, we're here at Westgate Elementary, and 40 years ago, the tornado demolished this school. This is one of the remaining blocks from that day. Now, if school would have been in session, the 450 students would have normally taken cover by the bathrooms.
The kids had been going to shelter from weather in the restrooms, and those were gone. Those were gone.
We'll also retrace the steps of an Omaha police officer who tracked that storm for miles in 1975. All of that and more, a half-hour look back. Omaha remembers the 1975 tornado, less than 90 minutes away. We'll see you then.
Well, thank you, Brian. And again, that is at 6:30 tonight. We've got much more still ahead in this live broadcast, a fascinating special.
Yes, definitely. But up next, new developments in a fatal crash, why no one will be facing charges anytime soon.
And we want to remind you, all of our newscasts are streamed live to your tablet, smartphone, and computer. All you have to do is click the link right on our homepage.
You're watching the Heartland's favorite choice for local news with Mallory Maddox, Joe Chiodo, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Mike LaPointe. This is WOWT 6 News, live at 5.
I could build a friend. I'd fill her with qualities on which I can depend, like patience, understanding. She's there when I need her. My best friend yet.
Show Mom you care with a gift from Baker's.
Celebrate Mom with a fragrant Lily Rose bouquet. Get a spectacular 15-stem arrangement for just $20. Happy Mother's Day from Baker's.
There was a time when 10 miles to the gallon was acceptable. Today's 40-plus mile-per-gallon cars weren't even in the rearview mirror back then. Of course, this Lennox air conditioner wasn't on the radar either. It's solar ready, the quietest, most energy-efficient air conditioner you can own. It's time to live in the now.
Call A1 United for the most advanced technology in heating and air conditioning.
When you're ready to live in the now, call my friends at A1 United Heating, Air, and Electrical. Now get up to $1,700 in rebates.
It's a no-coast vacation road trip at Casey's General Stores. Visit Casey's for spectacular road trip savings like Mountain Dew 20-ounce bottles, 3 for $3.33. And large meat-from-scratch taco pizzas for only $13.99. Plus, discover the no-coast clue at any Casey's and enter to win a fabulous Winnebago road trip or other amazing prizes. It's all happening now at Casey's General Stores. Casey's, famous for pizza.
Ford is taking the EcoBoost Challenge all across America. It puts you back in the seat. Check out the new Mustang and find out why Ford is the brand more people buy and buy again.
Mustang's got a lot of pickup. As soon as I hit that gas, that EcoBoost is there.
I can't believe it's a 4-cylinder.
Good on the performance side, good at the pump.
Definitely a winner.
Take the EcoBoost Challenge for yourself at your local Ford dealer. And for a limited time, get the new Mustang with $500 cash back. Hurry in to the Ford EcoBoost Challenge sales event.
Funeral information at WOWTremembers.com.
Live at 5 continues now with an update. We have checked. Douglas County Attorney Don Klein's office is telling us no charges will be filed in a fatal crash. The CEO of an investment company in India died in this crash at 63rd and Shirley. It happened Sunday morning. The driver of the car pulled out in front of an oncoming pickup truck. Well, it turns out both drivers were at fault. The car for pulling in front of the pickup for speeding. Police say both factors played a role in that crash.
WOWT 6 News live at 5 continues with today's Family Healthcast.
We're living longer than ever, so we're bound to put more wear and tear on our bones, which often means hip replacements. Now there's an alternative. One Fremont health doctor says he is giving his patients good results. Cerise Cole tells us about it in this month's Health Check.
Just walk like you normally would.
Ellen Carlin is showing her doctor how well she's moving now. It's been 6 months since her hip replacement surgery. Before the procedure, getting around was a challenge.
I finally got a cane, and then I had my kids get me one of those walkers with the seat just for around the house because I was so afraid I'd fall. It was not good.
Dr. John Ugan showed me the problem. 100% of her cartilage was gone.
And you can see here how erosive that is. And you can just imagine having to take every step you take, rubbing those two bones together, how painful that may be.
He told Ellen about the interior approach to hip replacement. Instead of detaching or cutting through muscle tissue from the side or back of the hip like with traditional hip surgery, doctors enter through the front, moving the muscle aside, sparing it from any trauma.
That results in a faster recovery time. Patients are getting up, less pain, and they're able to get back to the life that they enjoy.
Now, during this procedure, doctors are able to use x-rays to make sure the hip components are being placed as they planned. If not, they can actually go back and make corrections.
No adjustments necessary for Ellen.
I had surgery at 7. At 3:30, I was standing on that hip. At 5:30, with a walker, I walked around the nurse's station. And it didn't hurt.
Now she's back on her own 2 feet.
No cane, no walker, no nothing.
Walking pain-free. In Fremont, with photographer Mike Plews, Cerise Cole, WOWT 6 News.
Dr. Ugan has performed hundreds of anterior approach hip replacements. He is most impressed with the patient's satisfaction and reduced recovery time. When he performed the traditional hip replacement surgery during residency, patients were in the hospital 3 to 5 days. With this procedure, patients are ready to go home the very next day. Joe?
All right, Mallory, thank you. Well, we are following local breaking news out of southwest Omaha right now. What appears to actually be a cougar, a mountain lion, spotted and photographed in the area of 120th and Q. Take a look. You can see it really is some sort of big cat there. It was tweeted by an Omaha police officer. The Humane Society, we do know, is en route. People at Project Harmony, right outside the building where that cat is located, have been told the plan is to tranquilize that big cat. Again, NHS is on the way. We will have full coverage of this tonight, as well as on our website, WOWT.com. You can check there for continuous updates. Well, lots of money handed out today to help Omaha neighborhoods. We'll tell you where it went still ahead. But first, to check the drive home right now, we are looking at I-80 near the 680 interchange. Chief Meteorologist Mike LaPointe up next with an hour-by-hour forecast to help you plan your evening. Could get a little dicey out there. We are tracking a threat of severe weather. You're watching
that changed thousands of lives.
It's been 40 years since this tornado ripped through Omaha.
The whole house is destroyed.
Remembering the destruction. A special Brian Mastery reports tonight at 6:30.
I don't want to live with the uncertainties of Hep C.
Or wonder whether I should seek treatment. I am ready.
Because today, there's Harvoni, a revolutionary treatment for the most common type of chronic hepatitis C. Harvoni is proven to cure up to 99% of patients who've had no prior treatment. It's the one and only cure that's one pill once a day for 12 weeks. Certain patients can be cured with just 8 weeks of Harvoni. With Harvoni, there's no interferon, and there are no complex regimens. Tell your doctor if you have other liver or kidney problems or other medical conditions, and about all the medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Harvoni should not be taken with any medicines containing amiodarone, rifampin, or St. John's wort. It also should not be taken with any other medicine that contains Sovaldi. Side effects may include tiredness and headache. I am ready to put Hep C behind me.
I am ready to be cured.
Are you ready? Ask your Hep C specialist if Harvoni is right for you.
Weather is unstoppable. The skies can change in an instant. When they do, we are the first to watch it, first to track it, the first to alert, keeping you ahead of the storm so you can plan your day. WOWT 6 is the weather authority. 5 powerful radar sweeps pinpoint exactly when weather will hit your neighborhood, hours before it happens. WOWT 6 is the weather authority.
Well, we've got quiet conditions here in the metro area, and it's going to be quiet for the next several hours. So if you have dinner plans to take you out here in the metro, looking good. Just off to our south and west, so a tornado watch in effect, and this runs until 9 o'clock this evening. Showers and thunderstorms have been firing, especially just off to our south and west. Again, there's where the activity is, over toward Columbus, Grand Island, down toward the Hastings area. Let's get a little bit closer there, and as we take a look here, we are looking at some moderate to some heavy rainfall and some isolated thunderstorms through the Fullerton area, down toward the central city. Once you get down toward Grand Island, down toward the Wood River area, some of these thunderstorms have been severe, and you can see another tornado warning is in effect. You'll notice not too far away from the Hebron area, all tracking off to the north and east. Now, we've had numerous reports of tornadoes for Adams County, not too far away from the Hastings area. We've had reports of damage down in that region, and we're still getting those in here to the newsroom, but you can notice this heavy thunderstorm, the supercell that's moving through parts of Superior, coming out of Kansas, producing not only some very large hail, but also we are seeing the tornado warning in effect down there, and that's going to run for the next half hour or so. As I expand this right across the Kansas border, a line of showers and thunderstorms which are severe, producing not only some large hail and some damaging winds, but also isolated tornadoes. And that's going to be the trend here for the next several hours. Movement has been off to the north and to the east, so you can see where we are here in Omaha. Time-wise, we're still good 2 hours away, at least 2 to 3 hours before that makes its way a little bit closer to the metro area. There's just a quick look at some temperatures here around the area with a high temperature of 73 degrees. If you are going to be heading out tonight, again, grab the rain gear. We're going to see showers and thunderstorms. And again, any thunderstorm that does develop here across our area will be just like this, will be strong to severe with large hail, damaging winds. We can't rule out isolated tornadoes moving through the region. 71 degrees, our current temperature. So here's your hour-by-hour forecast to help you plan your evening. And at 7 o'clock tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, but here comes that line of showers and thunderstorms. By 11 o'clock, we're going to notice it definitely here in parts of the metro area. By 1 o'clock, that line of showers and thunderstorms rolls right through. Again, large hail, damaging winds. Can't rule out isolated tornadoes with this system as it plows across the region. By 7 tomorrow morning for your morning rush, may see a few spotty showers, but there'll be more on the way as we hit the afternoon and evening. So again, you saw this forecast. This is for tomorrow now in the yellow alert with more showers and storms in the afternoon with high temperatures in the upper 70s. Very unsettled weather pattern continues Friday, Saturday, maybe early on Mother's Day before we start to quiet it down here across the region with temperatures next week in the 60s. For more weather information, plus if you want to sign up for Storm Call, that will only contact you if you are in the path of the storm. It's very, very helpful. You'll get a phone call from me telling you that your area is under out warning. But right now, it is quiet here in the metro area. It should be quiet to about 10:30 tonight, and then it gets pretty active.
Then it could change. Tonight of all nights is the night to use that storm call.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be here all night long, too.
Perfect. Sounds good. The whole crew. All right. Thank you, Mike. Here's Mallory.
Well, up next, Omaha's mayor handed out her neighborhood grants. Where the money is going, that's coming up next, live at 5.
Savings on a Giant selection. Hurry to the Honda Giant. Honda Cars of Bellevue during our anniversary sale. Like new CRVs, 0 down and only $259 a month. Honda Cars of Bellevue, winner of Honda's President's Award and Council of Excellence Award, serving the heartland for over 30 years, one happy Honda customer at a time. Honda Cars of Bellevue, one small step off Kennedy Freeway, one giant Honda savings store.
At Barrett Body Shop, we are the experts in laser hair removal. Our state-of-the-art in-motion laser technology provides pain-free, permanent hair removal, guaranteed. We're so confident that for a limited time, we'll let you experience it for free. Get a standard area, single session free, and see for yourself what makes Barrett Body Shop better. With unbeatable prices and over 85 years of combined experience, it's really no surprise why our clients love Barrett Body Shop. Call Barrett Body Shop, where we believe every body is better bare.
You love your house. There's just one problem. That high-traffic bathroom, it needs an upgrade. Catch the bathroom up to the rest of your beautiful home with a full custom remodel from Rebath. Stop wishing for someday. Take your bathroom from unbearable to custom crafted without the uncertainty and fluctuating costs of most other remodels. It can be done in your budget and on your timeline. Let's transform your bathroom right down to the studs. Rebath does it all. Visit us at myheartlandhome.com.
Experience Tempur-Pedic the way you were meant to at Nebraska Furniture Mart with all 3 collections on display. Tempur Contour, contouring comfort with famous support. Tempur Cloud, softness plus adaptive support and comfort. Tempur Flex, famous adaptive benefits and a new responsive feel. Plus, discover Tempur Ergo adjustable bases and get a $300 reward card with any Tempur-Pedic sleep system purchase. Plus, special financing for up to 65 months and free same-day delivery on qualifying sets at Nebraska Furniture Mart.
Shop from our giant selection of new Hondas or pre-owned vehicles at HondaCarsOfBellevue.com.
Well, more news. Some Omaha neighborhood associations got a boost in their checkbooks this morning.
That's right. Omaha Mayor Gene Stothert awarded, get this, more than $65,000 in grants to help neighborhood associations. This year, the mayor focused the grants on public safety, awarding neighborhood groups that invested in public safety equipment and improvements.
John Chapman was at the award ceremony, and he continues our complete coverage.
One of the oldest neighborhood associations is located here in the Long School neighborhood. The look of the Long School neighborhood has changed over the years. Businesses, strip malls, and nice homes, all located in the shadow of downtown Omaha on North 24th Street. Jarrett Johnson and Gil Webble are part of the Long School Neighborhood Association that received $2,100 today. They both do things to improve the neighborhood and keep the residents safe.
We basically patrol our neighborhood for everything. And not only that, we make record of the potholes, etc.
This stone landscaping is part of Gil's work. He works to make people in the neighborhood feel good about the neighborhood and themselves.
It's a matter of life and death. When you have pride in your neighborhood, you have pride in your neighbor. So you're going to protect your neighbor, you're going to respect your neighbor, and you're going to love your neighbor as you want your neighbor to love you.
Over in the Sunny Slope, Sunny View neighborhood, you find one of the largest neighborhood associations in the city. Marcia Hinkle and Phil Brown manage the program. Marcia started things about a year ago.
There were some break-ins, especially nearby. I sort of got things going because I didn't know what else to do. You're frustrated when you see things happening to your neighbors.
Sunny Slope Sunny View Neighborhood Association has signed up 360 out of 451 households as members.
We feel we have a very safe neighborhood. Everybody's been, if there's anything suspicious, we have informed all of our neighbors just to call 911.
There were 21 neighborhood associations that received grants today from the mayor. Mayor Stothard says crime prevention starts in the neighborhoods where we live, and she hopes today's grants will help those neighborhoods be safer places to live. With photographer Mike Plews, John Chapman, WOWT 6 News.
Well, still ahead, our Weather Authority team is tracking the storms. We've got 3 of them in the Weather Center, so we'll see the new information. It is very busy.
Nice to have some company. All right, this is WOWT 6 News live at 5.
Many families choose Nebraska medicine. We have more of the most respected doctors in America than anyone in the state. We are nationally recognized in 6 medical specialties and is #1 in Nebraska by U.S. News and World Report. And we are most preferred by Omaha consumers. Find a physician at nebraskamed.com. We are Nebraska medicine.
It's all yours.
It's all ours.
We found the one.
Our piece of the dream.
Home sweet home.
Here to stay.
Permanent.
Rooted.
Residence.
Relocated. I've been relocated.
Packing up shop.
Headed out of Dodge.
Hitting the bricks.
Calling the bank.
A short-term world needs a long-term bank. For great rates and step-by-step guidance from one of the nation's top mortgage lenders, call on U.S. Bank.
Onward.
Upward.
What brings your home to life? What makes it all work? And what could possibly make it any better? Introducing Cox Home Life, home security and automation. It doesn't just protect your home, it unlocks your home's full potential. So you have more control during the day and can sleep better at night. Cox Home Life. Protect, monitor, control.
Hurry in for hot savings on these Hy-Vee hot deals and more. Driscoll's raspberries, only $1.48. Silk almond, cashew, soy, or coconut milk, just $2.88. Hy-Vee Angus Reserve boneless sirloin steak, only $4.88 a pound. Ragu pasta sauce, just $1.28. Chobani Greek yogurt, only 88 cents. And General Mills cereal, just $1.88. Check out these Hy-Vee hot deals and more this week at Hy-Vee.
We'll send out a roofing expert to check over your roof. Roofing is hard work, but every single one of us at White Castle is dedicated to doing it right and making it last. To find out more about who we are, go to whitecastleroofing.com.
Away. What can I make for you?
How about something from our new Mediterranean collection? Tender chicken or steak with feta cheese, cucumbers, black olives, and a creamy tzatziki sauce. Hurry in today.
Subway. Eat fresh.
When time to get sick isn't on your schedule, call us 7 days a week for an appointment before bedtime. Good night. Boys Town Same Day Pediatrics.
Welcome back. Taking a look at stories now that we are following for our next newscast. A lot of new information and stories coming into the newsroom right now. Let's take a look at this pretty incredible picture we have here. This is actually a mountain lion reported outside of Project Harmony in West Omaha. Take a look at just how big it is. Reporter Mike McKnight is on the scene there. We will have live coverage tonight at 6 o'clock. Something we also want to let you know about tonight. Brian Mastery reports a special report. Omaha remembers the 1975 tornado. That is coming up tonight at 6:30. We've seen parts of it. You don't want to miss it. And Chief Meteorologist Mike LaPointe, talk about timing right now. We're also tracking a threat of severe weather tonight.
We are. So we do have tornado warnings in effect right now for Fillmore and Thayer County. That's to our south and west until 5:45. That line of showers and thunderstorms moving toward the metro. We'll be here in the metro sometime after 10 o'clock. Mallory?
An incredibly busy night here at WOWT 6 News. We'll be tracking all of these stories coming up at 6, followed by Brian Mastery's Tornado Special. We'll see you then.
WOWT 6 News.